I started animating countryballs by the end of 2023, and the first thing I animated was a less than a second clip of USA getting blown away. Beautiful, right? I tried to recreate a video that my friend sent me from TikTok.
Toma banho, toma vacina, vem caçar um rato que tava na cozinha. Comprei brinquedo novo, vem tomar outro banho que hoje tá calor.
Back then, I used it to animate on Flipper Clip, and I also remember making another Countryballs animation on Flipper Clip, but I'm not gonna show that one. I also remember trying to animate that trend called Let's Dance, which features Countryballs in an intense fighting arena, but it was really difficult because there were too many movements. After that, after a few months, I had a school assignment, a history assignment about the Napoleonic Wars. So I wanted to make a cool countryballs animation about it. So I tried using a light motion for the first time. Not really the first time using a light motion since I've used it before for gacha club animations, I guess. So I try making countryballs animations in a light motion for the first time, and I made a 5 minute long animation, I guess. I'm just gonna show a few clips to show how my animation looked like back then. I decided to animate some sort of fighting animation to represent the Battle of Leipzig, and it looks a bit chaotic. That small part of the animation somehow looks kinda good if it wasn't for Britain's animation freezing for some reason. After that, I animated the last part on Flip a Clip, which was the Battle of Waterloo. And I animated like 2 a.m. the night before the presentation. But anyways, the presentation was successful and I ended up carrying the entire group. Even though I haven't spoke anything in front of the class and I just showed my animation. After that, I made a few more light motion animation tests, which one features Belgium and the other one features Russian Empire. The third one shows the Axis powers driving a car at the sound of William Afton driving while drunk from McDonald's. And the last animation test featured German Empire while I still use it to representing with rectangle and Britain. A few months later, I had another history assignment now about the Paraguayan War, so I made another animation. I also made a slideshow for that one. It was a dual group work assignment, but the person that I got paired with didn't help me at all. So once again, I carried the entire work. There's this clip of the animation right here, and the audio belongs by that person. I'm just going to leave it for you to watch it by yourself.
Paraguay, no hay a dónde ir, ríndete ahora mismo. Argentina tiene razón, tú perdiste esta guerra. Estás subestimando a Solano López. El gran Solano López nunca se rinde. Paraguay, mira, somos 3 contra 1 y Brasil ya no parece muy feliz. Entonces es hora de usar mi arma secreta. arma secreta? Todas las mujeres y niños ven a luchar por defender a Gran Solano López. Dios mío, ¿es esa tu arma secreta? Mujeres y niños. No me siento bien peleando con mujeres y niños. Yo tampoco. Y he ordenado a mis soldados que regresen a casa. Sí, yo también. No más ataques. Genial. Por fin todo terminado. ¿No es así, Brasil? ¿Brasil? Demônios! Tu mexeu com o cara errado, seu Zé Ruela! Brasil, para! Estás lutando contra mulheres e niños! Tá explicado porque tá tão difícil de acertar, essas crianças são muito baixinhas! Brasil, por favor, esto ya es un masacre! Verdade, Brasil! Todo o Paraguai ha sido dizimado! Aqui eu não deixo trabalho pela metade não, Argentina! Só paro quando admitir que Solano Lopes perdeu a guerra! Vamos, Paraguai! Dile que te rinde! El gran Solano López, el gran Solano López, el gran Solano López te destrozará.
Okay, so a few weeks after that, I had another history assignment, and now the teacher wanted us to make a video explaining about the topic, and I had to explain about scientific racism and neocolonialism in Africa. And I made a 1 minute long video explaining scientific racism with cave balls, and then I made a whole 9 minutes long video explaining neocolonialism in Africa. And once again, this was a group work, a dual group work. The person that I got paired with once again didn't help me at all, so I just carried the entire work by myself. I definitely had a hard time making this one, cause I got burned out really fast because I had to draw a lot of stuff, record a lot of audios for the video, and the audio just turned out sounding horrible because I start recording trying to speak slow in a way that people can understand me, but I end up not noticing that I start to speak at 1 year light per second. I even wrote an apology for speaking too fast and sounding really annoying for whole 9 minutes at the end of the video. I seriously speak English better than my native language, because at least when I'm speaking English, I don't speak too fast. I think about the stuff that I'm talking about, and I also pay attention to my pronunciation. After that, in December, I made my first AMV animation, which is the Christmas Kids animation that's here on my channel. It was my first AMV animation that I made based off the knowledge that I ever had with animating on a light motion. That animation definitely doesn't look that good, but I like it. It was the starting point of my channel. The second AMV animation that I made is the Smoking Snakes animation, which is the most vivid short of my channel at the moment. I remember procrastinating and getting burned out of this animation, but I didn't want to give up because I wanted to share the history of the 3 Brazilian heroes by this animation. Even though that there are a few parts that turn out not looking that good, I'm really glad with the meaning that this animation carried. I'm glad to know that my Brazilian viewers felt really honored with this animation. And it's also nice to know that people from the same country as me are enjoying my works. I plan on making more animations focusing on Brazil in the future. After that, I try to make an animation about the Spanish colonization of the America and its downfall. And I noticed that I tried a new art style for this one, which I ended up liking a lot. But the animation wasn't looking that good, and it turned out that it will be too difficult to finish, so I just scrapped it. I felt kind of frustrated with the fact that I have scrapped an animation, but after I got inspired by more animations that I saw on YouTube, I decided to make another one, which is the Fukuona girl animation. It it turned out that this animation was pretty easy to make, and I made it while the idea was still fresh in my mind. So I didn't feel pressure to finish it. The process of making this animation was actually pretty enjoyable, and I was actually really satisfied with the result of the animation. Next up, I made this short animation for a collab. It looks kind of cool, I guess. And after that, I made the military fashion show animation, which features the Balkan War, the first Balkan War. I think it generally looks pretty decent. I I think I have learned a few things with this animation. I remember posting this animation on a Discord server, and someone told me that they kind of told me that it looked kind of like a natural copy, and I I just spent the rest of the day thinking about that. I didn't want to lose my originality. I actually wanted to have an original style, and at the time I was afraid that I was going to lose my originality. But anyways, next up I made this short animation, which is the engine wanted to leave animation, which features Prussia and Austrian Empire. I actually kind of like this animation. It was pretty chill and nice to make. It was just a really nice feeling to make this animation. It was pretty easy to make. I also have made an animation with the my bread was burned to a crisp. It was just a small twinning test. Moving on, it was by the start of May in this year that I had a history assignment about World War One. My group had to make about the had make a my group had to make a slideshow about the Treaty of Versailles, but I want to make a whole animation about World War One. But I only had 1 week to do that, so it turned out really rushed. There are a few parts that actually look pretty good and decent, but it was pretty lazy and rushed because I didn't have time. I had to pull a couple all-nighters to finish this thing, and I also got sick. But at least I had time to finish this thing. The final conclusion is that the animation is 75% absolute cinema and 25% absolutely shit. After finishing the school stuff, I try to focus more on finishing an ongoing collab, which is the Centuries collab. I feel like I learned a lot of stuff with this collab. There are parts that were really good and there are parts that were really bad. My personal favorite is the part that shows Holy Roman Empire, Prussia, Austrian Empire, and then transitions to Mongol Empire. And my last favorite part is the Japanese Empire. If you look at this thing, if you look at the back, I just reused a few clips from my Fukuona girl animation, and I hate it for that. And now moving to my last animation, it's the Invite Baby X King. And I genuinely love this animation. It looks peaky, it looks high quality, It was really fun to make, and it's nice. I like it. I really like it. I remember fearing the fact that I could lose my originality if my style got too close to natural, but now I realize that my style has changed over time, and now I've been developing my own originality, and I'm glad with that. I'm glad with my current style. And I forgot to mention about my relationship with Flipperclip. I at the beginning I wanted to have two channels. One which is my current one that I will post short AMVs and animations in light motion, and another channel that will be focused on more humoristic representations of historical events, which is something that will be inspired by Ikariabao, I guess. But it turned out that I really wasn't enjoying animating Flipperclip. It was a pain in the ass for me. And I come to the conclusion that I wouldn't be able to keep both of the channels alive. So I scrapped that idea and now I'm keeping only the current channel. So I quit Flipperclip by March of this year. But if I ever feel like it, giving another chance to frame by frame animations, I can bring some AMV animation that mix Flipperclip with a light motion. Cause I think that Flipperclip animation has its own charm. And I think that it will be cool to mix a Flipperclip animation with my light motion animation. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Bye.